All right, today we're going to talk about hacking your sleep. And I don't mean destroying it, I mean using actual science to figure out how some people can sleep for fewer hours and still wake up feeling sharp, fresh, and completely recharged. So, what's their secret? Let's dive in.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You get what's supposed to be a full 8 hours, but you wake up feeling like you've been hit by a truck, just dragging yourself out of bed. You promise yourself you'll go to bed earlier tomorrow, but what if the problem isn't how long you're sleeping?
And that right there brings us to a really crucial idea. There's a huge difference between just spending time in bed and getting truly effective restorative rest. I mean, you could spend hours tossing and turning because of stress or blue light and wake up drained. Or you could get fewer hours of deep, uninterrupted sleep and feel amazing. They are not the same thing.
So look, the goal here isn't just to spend more time under the covers. It's about getting more high-quality, deep and REM sleep per hour. In the science world, this is called sleep efficiency, basically getting the most bang for your buck out of every minute you're asleep. And honestly, the science behind how this works is pretty incredible.
Okay, so what's the big secret to that efficiency? Well, it all starts with this number, 90. See, your brain doesn't just, shut off when you fall asleep. It's actually moving through these super complex cycles, and each one of these cycles lasts about 90 minutes. And inside each of those 90-minute windows, your brain is doing a lot. It's moving through different stages, from light sleep all the way down into deep, restorative sleep, and then into REM sleep, which is where your brain does its own recovery. And when you let these cycles run clean, without interruption, that's when the magic happens. Your body and mind can fully recover with just a handful of them.
Let's zoom in on the most important stages. First up, deep sleep. The best way to think about this is like your body's personal overnight repair crew. This is when your muscles get repaired, your immune system gets a tune-up, and all your physical energy is recharged for the next day. And then on the other side, you've got REM sleep. If deep sleep is for the body, REM sleep is all for the brain. This is where you lock in memories, where your creativity gets a boost, and where you really sharpen your mental focus. You absolutely need both to wake up feeling on top of your game. All right, so the big question is, how do we get more of that good stuff? Let's get into the practical stuff. The actual science-backed system that can make 5 or 6 hours of high-quality sleep feel like a full 8 hours of power. First up, and this one is non-negotiable, consistency. Your brain absolutely loves a routine. When you go to sleep and wake up at the same time every single day, and yes, I mean even on weekends, you're training your body's internal clock, your circadian rhythm. It teaches your brain to release melatonin, the sleep hormone, like clockwork, which makes your sleep way deeper and more powerful. Okay, rule number 2, you have to learn to work with your sleep cycles, not fight against them. You know that awful groggy feeling when your alarm goes off? That's often because it's literally ripping you out of the middle of a deep sleep cycle. The trick is to plan your sleep in blocks of 90 minutes. That way, you can set your alarm to wake you up at the very end of a cycle, when your sleep is at its lightest. You'll be amazed at how much easier it is to wake up. All right, rule number 3. This is one of those elite-level habits that, honestly, most people just skip, the pre-sleep shutdown. How you spend the last couple of hours before bed can make or break your night. Just remember the 3-2-1 method. 3 hours before bed, no more heavy meals. 2 hours before, no more work or stressful conversations. And 1 hour before bed, absolutely no screens. This tells your brain it's time to power down. And look, what you do when you wake up is just as important. The second your alarm goes off, don't just grab your phone. Instead, get about 10 minutes of sunlight. It literally tells your brain, hey, the day has started, stop making me sleepy. Then a splash of cold water or a few quick push-ups can give you a jolt of dopamine that just vaporizes that morning brain fog. All right, so once you've got those core 4 rules down, we can get into some next-level stuff. These are the hacks that high performers use to really squeeze every last drop of value out of their rest. Let's talk about a big one, caffeine. Now, you might be thinking, my 3 p.m. coffee doesn't affect me. I can fall asleep just fine. But here's the catch. Even if you can fall asleep, that caffeine is still in your system, and it can reduce your deep sleep by as much as 30%. So the rule is super simple. Nothing after 2 p.m. Period. Next up, your environment. It matters. A lot. You have to think like a caveman. Your body is biologically wired to get the best possible sleep when your environment is cool, dark, and quiet. So aim for a room temperature around 18 to 20 degrees Celsius, make it pitch black, and maybe use some white noise to block out any distracting sounds. You know that feeling when you lie down, but your mind is just racing with to-do lists and worries? You can't get quality sleep like that. A really powerful technique is to do a mental declutter. Just dump all of those racing thoughts onto a piece of paper before bed. It sounds almost too simple, but it helps shift your brain out of that alert state and into a calm state that's ready for sleep.
Okay, let's briefly touch on supplements. You'll hear things like magnesium glycinate and ashwagandha mentioned for helping calm the nervous system and improve sleep. But, and I can't stress this enough, always talk to your doctor before you start taking anything new. This is not medical advice.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? It's really a fundamental mindset shift. We have to stop thinking about sleep as this passive thing we have to do, or even worse, as a sign of weakness. It's not. It's an active performance tool. It's your secret superpower. And I think this quote just says it all. You know that whole hustle culture thing of bragging about only getting 4 hours of sleep? That's so outdated. The real power move is mastering your recovery so you can show up every single day with a clear mind and focused energy.
And so that is the final thought I want to leave you with. When your head hits the pillow tonight, ask yourself this question. Are you just sleeping, or are you actively recovering? Are you rebuilding and recharging for tomorrow? Because trust me, that difference is everything.